Defining moments shape our path. Life is a collection of moments, and within those moments lie the events that shape our identity. Some of these moments arrive with great fanfare, a graduation, a job offer, the birth of a child. Others slip in quietly, unnoticed at first. A conversation with a stranger, a book that shifts our perspective, a failure that forces us to rethink everything. Whether big or small, these moments shape our decisions, influence our beliefs, and ultimately define the course of our lives. Think about a time when everything changed for you. Maybe it was a setback that felt like the end of the world. Or maybe it was an opportunity you didn't see coming. In that moment, you may not have realized its significance, but looking back, you can see how it redirected your path. These defining moments act like forks in the road, forcing us to choose a direction. And the choices we make in those moments determine the story we tell about ourselves. The most powerful moments are often the ones we don't anticipate. We spend years making plans, setting goals, and imagining our future, but life has a way of surprising us. Maybe you thought you would follow a certain career, but a single experience made you realize it wasn't what you truly wanted. Maybe you had a clear vision for your life, but one conversation, one moment of clarity changed your entire perspective. These moments may feel like detours, but in reality, they bring us closer to where we are meant to be. Defining moments are not always easy. Some of them come wrapped in pain, disappointment, or failure. A rejection letter, a broken relationship, a missed opportunity. These moments can feel like roadblocks, stopping us in our tracks. But if we look deeper, we begin to see them for what they truly are, turning points. Moments of failure are often moments of redirection. They force us to pause, reflect, and reconsider our path. They teach us resilience, push us to grow, and remind us that setbacks are not the end of the road, but part of the journey. Some of the most inspiring people in the world, leaders, artists, entrepreneurs, can trace their success back to a single defining moment. Not a moment of victory, but a moment of struggle. A moment when they had to make a choice, give up or push forward. It's in these moments that character is built. It's in these moments that people discover what they are truly capable of. If you ask them about their journey, they won't just tell you about the wins. They'll tell you about the failures that shaped them, the moments that tested them, and the decisions that defined them. But here's the truth. Defining moments don't just happen to us. We have the power to create them. When we step outside of our comfort zone, when we take risks, when we choose courage over fear, we invite life-changing moments into our path. When we actively seek growth, when we challenge ourselves, when we embrace uncertainty, we set the stage for transformation. The moments that define us aren't always accidental. Sometimes they are the result of a conscious decision to show up, to take a chance, to say yes when it would be easier to say no. And while some moments shape us as individuals, others shape us as a collective. Think about the moments in history that changed the world. Movements sparked by a single act of courage. Revolutions ignited by people who refused to accept the status quo. These moments remind us that we are not just shaped by our personal experiences, but by the defining moments of our generation. The moments that inspire us, unite us, and push us forward as a society. The path we walk is not set in stone. It is shaped by the moments we experience, the lessons we learn, and the choices we make along the way. Defining moments have the power to transform us, not because of what they are, but because of how we respond to them. How we respond matters. Life does not always go according to plan. We face unexpected challenges, setbacks, and even moments of profound disappointment. But if there is one truth about defining moments, it is this: what happens to us matters far less than how we choose to respond. Two people can experience the same failure, the same hardship, or the same opportunity, yet walk away with entirely different outcomes. It is not the event itself that shapes us. It is our reaction to it. Consider a person who faces rejection, whether it is from a job, a relationship, or an opportunity they desperately wanted. Rejection has the power to break a person or make them stronger. Some will internalize it as proof that they are not good enough, allowing doubt and fear to take over. Others will see it as a lesson, a stepping stone, a push towards something better. The response makes all the difference. One person gives up while the other grows. Our response is often dictated by our mindset. If we believe that failure is the end, we will treat it that way. But if we see failure as part of the process, we can turn it into a powerful force for growth. Think about the great innovators, leaders, and creators of the world. None of them succeeded without encountering failure. The difference is that they didn't let failure define them. Instead, they use it as fuel, as motivation, as a necessary part of their journey. The ability to reframe challenges as opportunities is one of the most important skills a person can develop. Emotions play a significant role in how we respond to defining moments. Fear, frustration, and disappointment are natural reactions, but they do not have to control our decisions. In moments of adversity, the instinct to retreat is strong. We tell ourselves to play it safe, to avoid risk, to protect ourselves from further pain. But true growth happens when we lean into discomfort instead of running from it. When we choose to face challenges head-on, we unlock potential we never knew we had. Some of the most inspiring stories come from individuals who responded to adversity with resilience. Take the athlete who suffers a career-threatening injury but refuses to give up, using the setback as motivation to come back stronger, or the entrepreneur whose business fails, only for them to build something even greater from the lessons learned. These people were not defined by what happened to them. They were defined by their response. They chose perseverance over defeat, action over hesitation, growth over stagnation. But our response isn't just about how we handle adversity. It's also about how we handle success. When things go right, how do we react? Do we become complacent, assuming that our achievements will continue without effort? Or do we remain humble, recognizing that growth is an ongoing process? Some of the greatest downfalls come not from failure, but from arrogance. The way we handle our wins is just as important as how we handle our losses. The people around us also shape our responses. We are constantly influenced by the voices we listen to, the mentors who encourage us, the critics who challenge us, and the environments we surround ourselves with. In defining moments, the support we seek and the perspectives we adopt can determine our path forward. Do we surround ourselves with people who push us to be better? Or do we allow negativity and doubt to take hold? Our response is never formed in isolation. It is built through the people, lessons, and values we choose to embrace. Every moment carries with it a choice. Do we react impulsively, letting circumstances control us? Or do we pause, reflect, and choose a clarity comes from reflection? Life moves fast. We rush from one experience to the next, constantly striving for more success, more progress, more certainty. But in this constant forward motion, we often overlook the power of looking back. Clarity does not come from simply moving ahead. It comes from pausing to reflect. It is in reflection that we begin to understand our choices, our experiences, and most importantly, ourselves. Without reflection, we risk repeating patterns, missing valuable lessons, and failing to recognize the moments that truly define us. Think about the defining moments in your life. Some were obvious, standing out like milestones on your journey. Others were subtle, seemingly insignificant at the time, but in hindsight, deeply impactful. Reflection allows us to connect the dots, to see the hidden meaning behind our experiences. It helps us understand why certain events changed us, why certain struggles made us stronger, and why some failures were necessary for our growth. The answers we seek about our future often lie in the lessons of our past. Many people assume clarity comes from external sources, from advice, from books, from experts telling us what to do. But true clarity comes from within. No one knows your experiences better than you. No one understands your struggles the way you do. When we take time to reflect, we uncover insights that no one else can give us. We begin to recognize patterns in our decisions, recurring fears that hold us back, and strengths we didn't even realize we had. This level of self-awareness is the foundation for making better choices moving forward. One of the greatest benefits of reflection is its ability to shift our perspective. When we are caught in the middle of a challenge, it often feels overwhelming. Emotions take over, and we struggle to see beyond the immediate situation. But when we step back and reflect, we gain distance. We begin to see the bigger picture. What once felt like a failure may now seem like a redirection. What once felt like an ending may reveal itself as a new beginning. Reflection turns confusion into understanding, frustration into wisdom, and mistakes into lessons. But reflection is not just about looking at the past. It is also about examining the present. How often do we stop and ask ourselves, am I truly happy? Am I on the right path? Am I living in alignment with what matters most to me? Too many people go through life on autopilot, following a script they never wrote for themselves. They chase goals they never question, accept limitations they never challenge, and wake up years later wondering why they feel unfulfilled. Reflection forces us to ask the hard questions, the ones that bring us closer to our true purpose. Yet, in a world filled with distractions, finding time for reflection is not easy. We fill every free moment with noise, social media, endless to-do lists, constant busyness. Silence makes people uncomfortable because it forces them to sit with their thoughts. But that discomfort is where growth happens. Some of the most profound realizations come when we step away from the chaos and give ourselves permission to think, to process, to simply be. Reflection requires intentionality. It is a practice, not an accident. Great leaders, thinkers, and innovators all have one thing in common. They prioritize reflection. They do not just act, they analyze. They do not just react, they evaluate. They take the time to ask, what worked? What didn't? What can I learn from this? They understand that growth is not just about experience, it is about learning from experience. Without reflection, we risk making the same mistakes over and over again. With reflection, we gain the clarity to move forward with purpose. The most successful and fulfilled individuals are not the ones who never fail. They are the ones who take time to understand their failures, to extract the lessons from their struggles, and to use their past as a guide for their future. Clarity does not come from doing more. It comes from understanding what we have already done, from making sense of where we have been so we can move forward with intention. We have the power to create defining moments. Many people believe defining moments happen by chance, that life simply hands us opportunities or challenges, and we have no control over when or how they arrive. But the truth is, defining moments are not just something we experience. They are something we can create. We do not have to wait for life to present us with a grand opportunity or a major turning point. We have the power to shape our own lives by making intentional choices, taking bold actions, and stepping into situations that challenge and transform us. Think about the people who inspire us the most. Leaders, artists, athletes, entrepreneurs. They did not sit back and wait for life to hand them a moment that would define them. They made the choice to step forward, to take risks, to pursue something bigger than themselves. Their defining moments were not accidental. They were created. Every great success story begins with a decision. To start, to try, to risk failure in pursuit of something meaningful. These choices, these moments of action, are what separate those who wait for change from those who create it. But creating defining moments is not always about big, dramatic actions. Sometimes it is the small choices that shape us the most. the decision to speak up when it would be easier to stay silent, the willingness to take the first step even when the path is unclear, the courage to push past fear and do something uncomfortable. These seemingly small moments add up over time, shaping our character and setting us on a path toward growth and transformation. One of the biggest barriers to creating defining moments is fear. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of uncertainty. We tell ourselves, what if I fail? What if I'm not good enough? What if things don't go as planned? And so we hesitate, we hold back, we wait for the right moment. But the truth is, defining moments do not come when we feel completely ready. They come when we decide to act despite our fear. Growth never happens in comfort. The moments that define us are often the ones that require us to step beyond what feels safe. Another way we create defining moments is through the way we impact others. A single act of kindness, a moment of encouragement, a decision to stand up for someone. These can become defining moments not just for ourselves, but for those around us. A teacher who believes in a struggling student, a mentor who gives someone a chance, a stranger who offers words of hope at just the right time. These moments may seem small, but they can change the course of someone's life. And when we choose to be intentional about lifting others up, we create defining moments that ripple far beyond ourselves. We also have the power to create defining moments by shifting our mindset. Instead of seeing challenges as obstacles, we can choose to see them as opportunities. Instead of seeing failure as an ending, we can treat it as a lesson. This mindset shift changes everything. It allows us to take control of our experiences and turn even the hardest moments into something meaningful. Life is not about what happens to us. It is about what we do with what happens to us. When we embrace this truth, we stop waiting for defining moments to come to us and start creating them ourselves. Every day presents a new opportunity to create a moment that matters. It does not require perfection. It does not require certainty. It simply requires a decision to show up, to try, to take a step toward something bigger. Some of these moments will be small and unnoticed. Others will be life-changing. But every moment of courage, every act of intention, every decision to step forward instead of hold back is a defining moment in the making.